the ballot so that you know exactly what you're voting for.
This morning, we're in Uvalde for the grand opening of Legacy Elementary School, where 600 kids will be walking into a new campus.
For 5 years, Goodwill has hosted its fashion show at Muertos Fest. I'm Sarah Acosta. Coming up, we're going to show you how they can help you get your costumes ready for the event this week that are sustainable and, of course, low cost.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
I'm actually very excited about that story that you did, because I know a lot of people got to get all creative with their costumes and stuff, so you want
an authentic costume.
Yeah,
We're going to show you how to do that. Good morning. It is Monday, 6 a.m., October 20th. Good to be with you guys. We've got a jam-packed morning. Lots of stuff happening, including early voting.
Yes, but before we get to all of that good stuff, let's get on over to Justin, who, again, bringing in some green conditions possibly for us this weekend.
Well, yeah, we have some rain in the forecast finally.
Yeah.
We're going to have to wait till the end of the work week, but it is finally there in the forecast. And we're going to get some back and forth humidity, so you want to make sure you're not caught off guard. Let's go first outside. Yes, it was dry yesterday, if you remember. It felt pretty good. Yeah, it was a little hot, but it felt good during the afternoon. Well, humidity is surging back in this morning, and we can see that with cloud cover. It is cloudy right now, 68 degrees in San Antonio. And in fact, a little bit earlier, we were down to 63. Temperatures are climbing this morning, and that is because humidity is increasing. Still 59 in New Braunfels, so quite a difference between San Antonio and New Braunfels, and that has everything to do with the humidity. 66 Converse, 66 Bernie, 71 right now at Stinson. If you're heading out the door to the bus stop this morning, we hope you have a great Monday at school. And temperatures, yes, will be right around 70 here in town. Mostly cloudy, and then warm and more humidity this afternoon. 91 after school practice will be a little bit rough today. It's been rough all month, but today is no exception. We do get a front tomorrow, which cools us down slightly, brings humidity back down. But we also have rain chances, as I mentioned earlier, Friday into Saturday. We're going to explain what we can expect and kind of the time frame that we're looking at. That'll be coming up here in just a couple minutes. But let's go out to the roads now, check in with Devin on what's going on there.
Justin, we have our first crash of the morning. This is going to be over here on the northwest side of town, over at Loop 410 and Ingram Road. You can see some of the lights that are over here. We just saw units get here about 5-10 minutes ago or so. This is going to be for those eastbound people going on there. You can see some of those cars as they start to turn right are able to get around it. But in the meantime, you might want to keep an eye out when it comes to this. Over here, when you go a little bit more north, we're going to be able to see this. 1604 over at La Cantera, Babcock Road, doing pretty good after a lot of construction this weekend. I know that probably caused some headaches from people when they were headed out and about. So far, our inbound drive times, we are still all in the green with driving in looking as expected. Taking a look at the roadways overall, we are not seeing too many different backups over here, and we have seen a little bit of relief when it comes to some construction that should be closing up momentarily here over on the northeast side. As we go outside and take a look at some of these TransGuide conditions, not too much that we need to worry about physically on the road for drivers. We're going to go ahead and see if we can speak with Alex Gomez, who is live for us in Drive Cam throughout the rest of the morning. But that is what we've got going on for now. Guys, I'll send it to y'all.
Yeah, well, good morning, everybody. I am on the northeast side right now. This is going to be 35 southbound at Church Parkway. We had a lot of construction here this past weekend, so I'm going to see if it's any closer to being wrapped up right now. But we still have some lane closures on the left side of the highway. Again, 35 south at Church Parkway. I've been in this for about 5 minutes only, but I'll let you know the next time we talk how long it took me to get through this area.
Best of luck getting through that, Alex. Thanks for being out there for us this morning. All right, folks, it is the first day of early voting when you are going to go out and make your voice heard. Now, there's going to be a few different things on the ballot when it comes to being in Bexar County. There's some Texas constitutional amendments, some school bond issues, and what you've probably heard about, Propositions A and B that could decide whether or not the Spurs get a new downtown arena here in San Antonio. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these numbers when it comes to voter turnouts for some of the off-year elections. This is something I put together when you're not looking at the general elections or if there's not a midterm going on right now. As you can see with some of these numbers here, we rarely climb into the double digits when it comes to voter turnout. The highest being in 2023 with 11.53% and the lowest being in 2020 2017 with a 3.7%. We're going to have to see if this question is going to make the difference, whether or not Spurs fans and people in San Antonio show up to make their voices heard at the polls. When it comes to two of these issues, we're talking about Propositions A and Propositions B. Proposition B is going to allow Bexar County to use an estimated $300 million from venue taxes to help fund some construction of the new downtown Spurs Arena. That's going to come from rental car taxes and hotel taxes. Whereas on the other side of things, when it comes to Proposition A, that is going to use some of those same tax increases to provide some upgrades to the Freeman Coliseum, Frost Bank Center, and Stock Show and Rodeo, which would become long-term permanent residents of that area if the Spurs were to move to a downtown Spurs arena. When it comes to being out there with some of these money, this is not something that can be used on city roads, infrastructure, public services. This is coming specifically from that taxes. Yesterday, we were able to go out and speak with some fans and voters over at a Spurs tip-off event to hear whether or not they're going to be voting for Propositions A and B, and if they even get out early to vote in general.
Yeah, we try to go as often as we can. Yeah. We have Spurs ticket membership, so we try to go as often as we can. Probably just wait a little bit. We're still trying to decide.
Now, hours to vote are going to start at 8 a.m. here and end over at 6 p.m. later on this week. Here on your screen, we've got a list of important voting times. Early voting starts today. It's going to go all the way until Halloween, until the big day on November 4th, which is Election Day. When it comes to voting times, that is going to be from 8 a.m. today to 6 p.m. You can scan that QR code on the bottom left of your screen and head over to KSAT.com for a look at polling locations closest to you and for a full explanation of items on the ballots. Guys?
Devin, thank you. New this morning, a man is fighting for his life after San Antonio police say he was shot while sitting in his SUV. Police say it happened at a West Side bar just before 11 last night near Old Highway 90 and Cesar Chavez Boulevard. Police say a man and woman parked in front of the bar, ran up to the victim's SUV, and then fired shots at the vehicle, striking the victim in the head. The suspects got away in a vehicle. That victim is now at the hospital, listed in critical condition at last check. Well, happening today, KSAT has been with the Uvalde community for 3 years now.
And this morning, we're there as they start a new chapter in this healing process. Our very own Patty Santos live outside of Legacy Elementary School for the first day of school for these kids. Good morning, Patty.
Hey there, good morning. So we are waiting for 600 kids to start arriving here on campus to fill this new school with joy and with laughter. School starts at 7:45 this morning, and just 10 days ago, we got a glimpse inside of the campus that took about 2 to 3 years to build. The two-story building will host the 3rd, 4th and 5th graders, and as well as the special needs kids here at Uvalde CISD. And the school year started 10 weeks ago. We know that, but most of these students were at Dalton, Flores, and Uvalde elementary schools, waiting until this campus could be ready for them. The new school is on Vickers Lane and Leonard Road, about 2 miles from the site of Robb Elementary School. Legacy Elementary currently has 600 students enrolled, but there's room for 800 kids, and we would be remiss if we did not recognize that this day is bittersweet for this community. In May 2022, 21 lives were lost in a tragedy that led to the building of this new campus. Coming up in the next 30 minutes, we're going to talk about the safety features that are going to be welcoming students and staff as they come into this new building. We are told this campus is like no other in Texas. Reporting live this morning, I'm Patty Santos. We'll send it back to you.
Patty, thank you. This morning, a man is accused of threatening to kill No Kings demonstrators on social media. San Antonio police say 66-year-old Robert Flores, on your screen here, made multiple posts on Threads threatening violence against people who attended this weekend's protest. He is charged with making a terroristic threat a third-degree felony. Flores was booked into the Bexar County Jail and has since been released.
All right, this morning, the city of Church says that Place 7 City Council member Tim Brown has died. According to the city, Brown was elected to Place 7 in 2018 and owned a real estate company with his wife, Nancy. Before City Council, Brown was the president of the Church Economic Development Corporation. He also served 28 years in the Air Force Special Forces. And Church says the details of the funeral and memorial service will be shared as they become available. Now to an update on a deadly shooting that happened downtown. San Antonio police arrested 2 men in connection with the incident over the weekend. Officers responded to East Commerce Street overnight Friday into Saturday, where they found a 27-year-old man shot and killed. Another man was also shot nearby at a restaurant. Police chased a group believed to be involved. 2 were arrested after their car crashed, but others managed to get away.
Okay, if you're having trouble logging onto your job's web services or even getting into your McDonald's app this morning, this is why. Amazon Web Services is having major issues this morning, and that's causing outages for hundreds of websites and apps, including Venmo, Hulu, McDonald's, and Coinbase. The outage is also causing problems for workplaces that are reliant upon Amazon's web service and app stream platforms. The company says engineers are working to limit the impact and figure out the cause. And here's some good news for gas prices are inching lower. AAA says the current national average price for a gallon of regular gasoline could reach the $3 mark for the first time in 4 years. So this morning, the national average is at $3.03 a gallon. Here in Bexar County, a little lower at $2.46, and the state average is $2.59. In the past week, the average has dropped more than 5 cents a gallon. AAA says several factors are behind the drop, including lower demand and a cheaper winter blend at the gas pump.
Right outside with live cam, it is 610, 68 degrees. Temperatures are actually rising this morning. Dew points are rising, so it's going to get very humid before another front comes through tomorrow and knocks down humidity again. We'll show you the back and forth coming up.
Be creative and just kind of have fun with it. That's what it's about. The Muertos Fest is about being inclusive.
Affordable and stylish. That's the vibe at Goodwill San Antonio's fashion show during Muertos Fest. Up next, a sneak peek at this year's looks, plus how you can snag your Halloween costumes and festival outfits without breaking the bank.
Plus, GMA's Robin Roberts' name is now on the biggest student building at Southwestern Louisiana University. We have an exclusive first look inside her brand new broadcast media center. Good morning. Highlighting affordability and sustainability. That's what Goodwill San Antonio's fashion show at Muertos Fest has been all about. And here is a sneak peek on what you can expect this year and how you can get your Halloween costumes and Muertos Fest attire this week.
We've got our 60s, which is very Age of Aquarius with the sleeves.
This is real vintage.
This is real vintage. This was actually a part of our show.
At any Goodwill San Antonio store, you can find real vintage at low prices that make authentic costumes, not just for Halloween, but also for Muertos Fest, happening October 24th through 26th.
Be creative and just kind of have fun with it. That's what it's about. The Muertos Fest is about being inclusive, remembering people that are passed, and also giving thanks to the community because we're all a part of it.
Honoring those who have passed through creative, sustainable looks. It's what you can expect at Goodwill San Antonio's 5th annual fashion show at Muertos Fest on October 25th, starting at 5:40 p.m. at the Nueva stage. This year, Goodwill San Antonio is celebrating 80 years in the community. So the fashion show's theme is decades, which all the looks have been found in Goodwill stores.
A lot of this stuff is actually from the era. It's from the 80s, from the 70s, and when you go to the costume shop, you're buying stuff that's a reproduction. You're getting the real thing here.
So like an outfit like this, which costs probably like...
Well, our tops start at $5.99. Our skirts start at $5.99 as well. Something like this probably will be about $9.99 to $12.99.
With a little creativity and time, you can find your Muertos Fest looks and Halloween costumes while helping people overcome barriers to employment.
And this is just another way to participate in community events and really show people that Goodwill is a place for you to find wonderful fashion while supporting our mission of changing lives through the power of work.
Sarah Acosta, KSAT 12 News. Hey, and just a reminder, Muertos Fest is happening at Hemisphere this weekend, 3 days this year, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and KSAT will be there. I'll be out there with Ernie, and we're going to be hosting a show that's going to air on Dia de los Muertos.
That's awesome.
Perfection.
Great to cover. Yeah. Well, hey, before we get to going things, I want to go over now live to Alex Gomez. We've got reports there's going to be a big closure that should be affecting some people, specifically over near the Fine Silver Curve. Let's go ahead and see while he is out there on his way over there. Alex, anything you can see, you can tell us right now?
Well, I'm still on my way right now. This is going to be 35 South near Frost Bank Center, but I am hearing early reports of a flipped over 18-wheeler on Fine Silver Curve, and they're going to shut it down. 35 South is going to be shut down right there at that Fine Silver Curve to go I-10 West. So when this does happen, because we do see it frequently, entrance ramps as well. Entrance ramps from San Pedro is going to be blocked off to 35 South, so keep that in mind. Your best alternate route is to use Elmira Street and then take that to the access road of I-10 West. From there, you can get back on the highway. But it's going to be a big shutdown. It's going to affect a lot of people trying to go 35 South on that upper level.
Thank you, Alex. I know this is going to be a big deal for a lot of our drivers, especially headed downtown from outside of the areas of San Antonio into here this morning. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. You can start to see just some of the backup that's already here over on 35. This is right near the Fine Silver Curve. These are our Flores Street cameras. We're going to keep an eye on this until they shut this down, making sure that we keep you guys as updated as we can. We have another crash, this time over on the northwest side of town this morning. This is 410 and Ingram Road. You can still see some of this over here. There are drivers who are able to make their way around this, but again, this is going to be eastbound areas, so just make sure if you're headed that way, you are keeping your eyes open. As far as our inbound drive times, we should see this shifting momentarily. The only one we are in the yellow for right now is New Braunfels with an inbound time of 38. Besides that, everything else is looking as expected as we take a look around San Antonio. Not much congestion except for the areas that we have just mentioned where some of these crashes should be affecting drivers throughout the rest of the morning. Over here at 410 and Starcrest, we are seeing a little bit of relief over from that area as we start to make our way across San Antonio. It should be a busy one for you guys, folks, but we'll stay on top of it all morning long. Justin?
Thank you, Devin. We were doing so good, and then on Monday morning we have a Fine Silver Curve crash. So that's going to be a headache for a lot of folks. All right, dew points are starting to surge. Okay, so right now we got a dew point of 48 here in San Antonio, which is still relatively dry. But look what is just to our south. You got dew points in the 60s and 70s, and this air mass is shifting north. So you're going to start to see things become more humid outside. I just went outside. You can feel it. You can feel the difference. It's bringing with it a cloud deck. So today is going to be somewhat muggy, but we get a front through around sunrise tomorrow, and humidity drops off again. So we're going to see a lot of back and forth this week, and then you'll see humidity build Thursday into the weekend. That could lead to some rain chances. So it's going to be one of those situations where you step outside one day, it's humid. The next, it's dry as a bone. But temperatures right now are at 68 degrees, and these numbers have been rising too because of the humidity. So we're seeing now low 70s and 60s around San Antonio. 82 noontime, 89 at 2 o'clock, 92 will be our high. That is well above average. All right, we mentioned there is a chance of rain towards the end of the work week. Let me show you why. We're under the influence of our ridge high pressure most of the week, but then low pressure moves across the country and moves into North Texas, and by Friday, it wants to develop some storms. Friday evening, I think. Friday evening into Saturday morning will be our window. And we could even see a couple of strong storms. It's a little early to talk about that yet, but just know that this is probably our best chance of rain that we've seen in a long while. And we'll continue to keep tabs on it. But right now we're going to go with a 30% chance of rain Friday into Saturday. Great news in the rain department, just to be able to see that in the forecast. All right, a little cooler tomorrow behind the front. We'll go 86 Wednesday, some morning fog and clouds on Thursday, and there you see the rain chances Friday and Saturday. Today should be our hottest day in the extended forecast. Very quickly, our Just Ask Justin question this morning. Oh, actually, we're going to take a look at that coming up next.
Gotcha.
Stick with us.
Thank you, Justin. It's 621 and 68 degrees.
GMA's Robin Roberts gets the ultimate honor. We'll take you inside the new broadcast media center that's inspiring the next generation of storytellers.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a special honor for our very own Robin Roberts.
3.
As the Robin Roberts Broadcast Media Center opens its doors at Southeastern Louisiana University.
I see the new building as an opportunity. It is a fresh start for the university and really makes Southeastern a staple as, yes, we are here and we can make an impact.
Now, for the very first time, Robin seeing her name on the side of the campus's largest student building.
Woo. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Dad.
Touring the facility and seeing the vision come to life.
This is a up-and-coming multimedia master's dream building. We want to thank you.
Coming up at 7 a.m., more from inside the state-of-the-art facility. With your GMA First Look, I'm Maggie Ruley, ABC News, New York.
Right, as promised, your Just Ask Justin question this morning. What's the coldest temperature San Antonio has ever seen in October? Is it 27, 32, 37, or 42? You still have time to vote. Go to ksat.com/poll or scan that QR code.
This week is National Teen Driver Safety Week. And we all know how risky it can be when teen drivers are behind the wheel of a car. For all of our parents out there, we're talking about some smart insurance choices that can save you thousands every year. Plus, Devin is getting you ready to hit the polls today.
That's right, Jeff. I got locations, what's going to be on your ballot, when to vote, and what you need to know before you hit the polls.
That's coming up at 6:30.
It's the first day of early voting, and San Antonio is going to get to decide what downtown could look like. Coming up on GMSA, what to know about Prop A and B to make sure your voice is heard.
This morning, we're in Uvalde for the grand opening of Legacy Elementary School, where 600 kids will be walking into a new campus.
Spooky season is here, hey, and the prices of costumes might be scarier than the actual holiday itself. But we're talking about ways that you can save so you can celebrate Halloween.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
6:30 right now on your Monday morning. Again, happy Monday. We've got a lot to get today.
Got a jam-packed show. Good to be here with you guys. Hey, a lot's happening out on the road, though, Devin.
Yeah, specifically over here on the Fine Silver Curve, you guys can see our folks at TransGuide are still adjusting the camera, but we have a flipped 18-wheeler that is right over here. That's going to be for anyone going 35 southwestbound around that area, going over here into I-10. That is going to shut down the road. You can see there is a large backup around here already because of it. Taking a look at some of our other cameras here over on Flores Street, we can see just what it's meaning for some of the drivers over here with all of these flashing lights. Again, this is going to be something that will affect your morning commute, especially if you're headed downtown. So we're going to have Alex Gomez join us momentarily. In the meantime, there's one other crash I want to let you guys know about over here that is in the process of getting cleaned up. This is over 410 and Ingram Road. Thankfully, we are seeing a little bit of relief for some of our drivers who are headed out that way. But again, if you're on the northwest side, make sure to keep your eyes open, especially too if you're headed over in here from Castroville. This is 90 in Montgomery. With all that light is just from headlights getting a big backup. That's going to make a big difference for our bottom line of inbound drive time. So far, the largest we have, 51 minutes if you're coming in from New Braunfels, 25 from Castroville, 20 Bulverde, about 25 the same for Bernie and Pleasanton, around 30 minutes or so for Floresville, Lavernia, Seguin as well. We have Alex Gomez, who is on his way to that crash over at the Fine Silver Curve, to give us any more details he can. Alex, hey, what's going on? Where are you looking right now?
Yeah, good morning, Devin. So just know that the entrance ramps to get on 35 South are already closed right now. This one's right here at McCullough, but even further down the road at San Pedro, those ramps to get on 35 South are going to be blocked off by SAPD. Your best alternate route, if you do use the Fine Silver Curve for your commute, exit early, exit Brooklyn, and stay on Elmira Street. Elmira is going to take you all the way to the I-10 access road, and then from there you can get on I-10 westbound, Devin.
Thanks for staying on top of it, Alex, being our eyes and ears out on the ground. We're going to make sure we follow this all morning long here on GMSA.
All right, guys, thank you. Let's take a look at the sunrise and sunset. This morning, sunrise will be at 7:39, sunset 6:58. So for the first time, our sunset is before 7 p.m. We'll have 11 hours and 19 minutes of daylight today. So we still have some time before the sun gets up. It'll be mostly cloudy when it does. 73 degrees at 10 o'clock, 82 noontime. And yes, we're back up in the 90s today. I know that's not what you want to hear, but it's just been the way this October has gone. 92. And not only that, it'll be a little bit humid. Humidity has surged back in this morning. Thankfully, front comes through tomorrow. That brings humidity back down before it comes back up Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and that could lead to some rain chances. Right now, a 30% chance of rain Friday and Saturday. We'll dig into that forecast a little bit more coming up here in just a couple minutes.
Well, thank you, Justin. It's the first day of early voting here in Bexar County for the special election coming up in November. We have got a countdown just under 2 hours, hour and a half here before you go out and to make your voice heard on this year's ballot. You're going to see some different items for school bonds, Texas constitutional amendments, and what you've probably heard about, Props A and B, which could decide if the Spurs get a new downtown arena. Now, when it comes to since 2015, the voter turnout for some of these November special elections on off years, that's when there's not a general presidential election or a midterm election, has rarely gotten to the double digits. This coming from 2015 all the way to 2023. The highest one being in 23 with 11.5%, the lowest going to 2017 with 3.7%. We're going to have to wait and see how the Spurs could affect everything when it comes to this November. Proposition B, that's going to be on your ballot, is going to ask voters if they should increase the hotel and rental car taxes to be used for a new downtown arena for the Spurs, totaling about $311 million coming from there. On the other side of things, Proposition A would allow Bexar County to use those venue taxes to upgrade and finance facilities like the Freeman Coliseum, Fox Bank Center, and the Spurs if the stock show and rodeo, if the Spurs were to leave that arena itself. Now, those specific funds from those taxes cannot be used for things like roads, public safety, or in the city budget. Over an NBA tip-off event yesterday with the Spurs, we went out to speak with some of the fans and voters to hear their thoughts on Propositions A and B and whether or not they're actually going to get out to the polls this morning to vote early.
We have my other son wearing his shirt right now that says vote yes, Prop A and B. So yeah, for sure, 100%. No, the earlier the better. The earlier the better to see where the count's at, for sure.
The hours to vote today are going to start at 8 a.m. and go to 6 p.m. all week long. Here on your screen, you can see some important election dates starting today for early voting, going all the way to October 31st until the big day itself on November 4th. Saturday and Sunday and the following week, there are also going to be times to vote. You can scan the QR code on your screen here and head over to KSAT.com for a look at some of the polling locations closest for you and for full explanations of all the items on your ballot.
All right, we got these officers right here you see behind me back in court this morning for the death of Melissa Perez that happened in 2023. And during their last appearance in court on Friday, Officer Andrew Chernak, who was there but not charged, testified that they planned to use less lethal force to detain Perez. Now, he said that he heard gunshots while trying to enter her apartment through a window. Chernak also said that Alfred Flores was the officer in charge that night, and police were called because Perez cut the fire alarm and she was experiencing a mental health crisis. Now it's up to a jury to decide if the officers followed protocol. Happening today, again, a bittersweet day for the Uvalde community. Today is the first day of their new school, which is Legacy Elementary. We've been talking about it. It was built after that tragedy at Robb Elementary. It happened in 2022.
As part of our coverage and our continued commitment to stay in the community as they heal from this tragedy, our Patty Santos is live in Uvalde this morning with what makes this campus so special. Patty.
Hey there, good morning, guys. So we've already started to see some of the teachers, some of the staff, the principal arriving here to the campus. It started about 30 minutes ago. We're still waiting for that very first school bus to make its way into this new campus. We did get a chance to tour the inside of the campus about 10 days ago when the district held a ribbon cutting. And the school year started 10 weeks ago for the 3rd and 4th and 5th graders, but they get a second first day of school today. Let's talk about some of the security features at Legacy Elementary. There are a lot of windows in this building, but a lot of those windows are very thick and bullet resistant. They also have a film filter on them. There's very thick doors. There's a lot of security cameras. Each classroom requires a fob key to get into them. So even after you've entered the inside of the campus, you still need a different key to access other parts of the campus. There is a door prop alarm that goes off if the outside doors are left open. 600 kids will be starting school today for the very first day here at this campus. School starts at 7:45 this morning. And of course, all the kids that are watching, if this is your school, you want to know what's for breakfast. They're having biscuits and gravy this morning. Reporting live in Uvalde, we'll send it back to you.
Patty, thank you. This morning, a man accused of shooting at San Antonio police officers now facing multiple charges and a hefty bond. Police say 58-year-old Richard Asbell opened fire during an attempted burglary at a storage unit near Fredericksburg and Warsbach on the city's northwest side. Officers say when they confronted him, Asbell shot at them. One officer returned fire, hitting him. Asbell was taken to the hospital and is now facing 4 counts of aggravated assault. That's according to KSAT's count. This marks the 13th officer-involved shooting in San Antonio so far this year.
This morning, San Antonio police said that a woman is now facing some charges of intoxicated assault and child endangerment. Now, this was after a high-speed crash involving a 4-year-old. Now, that 4-year-old is in the hospital, and an adult is fighting for their life. Police say that it happened around 3 yesterday morning at South San Marcos and South Laredo. Investigators say that a woman was speeding through the intersection when she slammed into another car. Her vehicle then caught on fire. A 4-year-old child inside the car wasn't properly secured and was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. The other driver also has life-threatening injuries. All right, got a morning headline for you. We got some scary moments got to tell you about that happened on a United Airlines flight on Sunday as the plane landed in Houston. United Flight 2662 was arriving from Chicago when 2 of its tires blew. 2 passengers on board said that several people screamed after hearing a loud thud. And they say that the plane began to bounce a bit after it landed. Well, the flight landed safely and passengers took a bus to the terminal. No one was hurt, fortunately, and it's unclear what caused the damage to the tires.
Outside with Life came at 6:39, 68 degrees. Clouds increasing this morning. We don't have any rain in the short term, but by Friday into Saturday, we're getting some better chances, better signals of potential for showers and storms. We'll show you the forecast coming up.
And taking a look at our roadways, we've got a flipped 18-wheeler that is over here at I-10-35 in the fine silver curve. We're going to tell you what it means for your commute. Stick with us here on GMSA.
Well, if you're a parent, you know teen drivers can be a little nerve-wracking behind the wheel, not to mention expensive. Coming up, how much you can save if you know where to look.
The longer you wait, the better you're going to do on price.
Halloween getting more expensive and it's a bit scary. Up next, how you can find the best prices from everything from your favorite costumes to your favorite candy. 6:43, welcome back. Trick-or-treaters, beware. The prices this Halloween might be a little bit scarier than you think, than the vampires and the ghosts out there. So here are some easy ways that you can save this spooky season.
Consumers are in for a scare this Halloween, with prices still near their peak. Shopping experts say that we can expect to see fewer seasonal treats overall this year, as well as shrinkflation, smaller quantities for the same price. According to Wells Fargo, cocoa prices have more than doubled since early 2024, and the frightening trend is hitting stores just in time for Halloween. So how can you save money?
Candy is a little tricky this year because we do have a cocoa shortage, and so we're seeing higher prices in chocolate. If you have a wholesale club membership, buy in bulk or buy the bigger size. If you're at your local grocery store or big box store, that's a great way to save significantly.
If you can, make your purchases closer to October 31st.
The longer you wait, the better you're going to do on price, because retailers will be looking to clear that merchandise out. Anything holiday themed, specifically for Halloween, they're going to be wanting to move that merchandise.
Consider a secondhand costume.
If you go to your local Goodwill or Salvation Army or a consignment store in your town, especially with costumes, those costumes are only worn once, twice, and so they're going to be in great shape and deeply discounted. And you can often find secondhand decor in these stores as well. So that's kind of a fun way to jazz up your home for Halloween on a budget.
Daphne Gray, KSAT 12 News.
Hey, we've got an update to that turned over 18-wheeler over here on I-35, I-10 in the fine silver curve. It looks like there is finally a tow truck that is getting ready to get out here. You can see some of the crews still working out here in the field as they start to go about this. Check out what it's doing to some of our drivers here on our TransGuide cameras. You can see these backups over here showing on Flores Street. So if you're coming on 35 southbound, just make sure you exit before you get around some of the downtown area. It'll save you a lot of time, and make sure you don't get stuck in traffic like a lot of these other people that are still here this morning. As we make our way out and about, I want to make sure we show you guys all parts of town. There is a bit of backup that's coming over here if you're coming in from 35 southbound from New Braunfels, Austin area. That's going to affect our bottom line for some of our inbound drive times as well. Not to mention the usual that we see when it comes over to Highway 90 on the other side of town coming in from Castroville. This is our camera at Montgomery Road, which unfortunately seeing a lot of headlights here from cars sitting as they start to make their way in. Taking a look at our inbound drive times. Thankfully, we are still in the green as drivers start to make their way into San Antonio. About 31 minutes if you're coming in from New Braunfels. Our photojournalist Alex Gomez is live on the roads for us in Drive Cam this morning, keeping an eye on conditions. Alex, what's it like out there?
Yeah, good morning, Devin. Well, I'm driving around downtown right now, and just know that because of that 18-wheeler crash, we have 35 southbound backed up from Fine Silver Curve all the way to the 281 interchange now. So that's going to get worse as time goes on. But there's another reported crash on the east side, I-10 west at Foster Road. I'm going to go check that one out, and I'll let you know what I see, Devin.
Thank you, Alex. Appreciate being our eyes and ears out there on the road for us, guys.
Thank you, Devin and Alex. This week is National Teen Driver Safety Week, and if you're a parent, you know teen drivers can be risky behind the wheel and often means paying more for insurance.
Erica Hernandez shares the helpful ways to help families make smart choices that could save you thousands each year.
For now, Jordan Hinkson is just getting a feel for the road with mom by his side.
Ideally, the car for him would be bubble wrapped, but in the real world, I would just want something that's safe.
The type of car matters because teens have crash rates nearly 4 times those of drivers 20 and older, and car crashes are the leading cause of death for ages 15 through 24. Choosing the right vehicle is critical.
You're going to want to choose a car that isn't too small and also that isn't too fast. Not only is it going to be cheaper to insure, but it's also going to give that teen driver a better sense of their speed.
Consumer Reports and the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety identified more than 50 used cars under $20,000 that have performance and features designed to keep young drivers out of a crash, but that also have high levels of crash protection if the worst does occur. On the list, popular picks like the Honda Civic, Toyota Corolla, and Hyundai Tucson. But finding the right car is only half the challenge. Insuring your teen can be pricey. Premiums can run much higher than for experienced drivers. One common question, should you put your teen on a separate plan?
In general, no. Putting your kid in a separate plan will cost more money. So shop around. As we found, and as we find over and over, loyalty doesn't pay. Insurance companies want to attract you with lower rates.
Consumer Reports found that the median savings for policyholders who switched insurers recently was $461 on their annual premium. As for coverage, it may be tempting to cut back on collision or comprehensive to save money, but CR says,
never skimp on liability insurance, even if it does save you money on your premium.
The right car and coverage can go a long way toward protecting teen drivers. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
All right, let's go outside. We've got some clouds rolling in here around San Antonio. We're going to start off mostly cloudy this morning, 68 degrees as you walk out the door. So coolish, but not as cool as it could be. We were actually cooler earlier before humidity surged in this morning. It's actually brought temperatures up. Even New Braunfels, which was in the 50s earlier, is starting to see rising numbers. And it's all due to the humidity surging back from the Gulf of Mexico. Yesterday was dry. Today will be fairly humid. And then tomorrow, a front comes through and knocks the humidity back down and pushes it all the way back down into the Gulf. We'll get some pretty dry air coming in tomorrow afternoon. So a lot of back and forth here with the humidity. Unfortunately, no rain with this front, but we do have some rain later this week. So at least there is some good news in the long-term forecast. In the meantime, it will still be very hot today. 92 in San Antonio, 93 Stinson, 90 Boerne, 90 in Comfort, and humidity along with that. High temperatures tomorrow behind that front that we just talked about. A little cooler, and at least the humidity's gone. 88 on your Tuesday, 90 in Helotes, 87 in Boerne. And you know what? We need rain. We have not seen not even a trace. Right now, we would have the driest October ever behind 1952 unless we get some rain in the forecast. And yes, there is some, thankfully. there's an area of low pressure that will move in as we get into Friday and Saturday, and that should generate some storms. Now, we'll be on the south end of things, but I do think we have a decent chance to get maybe even some thunderstorms in here late Friday into early Saturday. So that'll be something we look forward to. And real quick, I did want to mention that there is a system in the Caribbean that we're keeping eyes on too, although I think that this will not have an effect, any effects really, on Texas. 88 tomorrow, 86 Wednesday, some morning clouds and fog Thursday, and there you see the 30% chance of rain Friday and Saturday. Right now temperatures stay warm, but at least a little cooler than today. All right, our Just Ask Justin question this morning. I asked, speaking of cooler temperatures, what's the coldest temperature San Antonio's ever seen in the month of October? What do you guys think?
27.
27.
27. 37. Is that what you really want to go with, 27?
Yes.
That's what we're going with.
Devin says 37. Yeah, it is actually 27.
Yay.
I knew it. See? Our
Trying to
viewers
throw
knew
you
it
guys
too.
off the scent. But yes, we got done 27 on Halloween back in 1993. That's cold.
Hey.
We'll see what this Halloween brings for us this year.
Probably not 27.
Probably not.
Probably more like 87.
Probably so.
Coming up on GMSA Plus, we got the Trump administration reopening doors for millions to get student loan forgiveness, what those programs and how you might qualify.
All right, welcome back. We're starting to see a surge in humidity this morning, so things getting a little more humid, and it is going to be a very warm day. We start off the clouds and then end up mostly sunny. 92 is our high today, another day well above average. But good news here, we get a front through tomorrow morning. That drops humidity again, a little cooler tomorrow, 88. And then we do get some rain chances. Friday and Saturday, a 30% chance of rain, mainly late Friday, I think, with a chance of thunderstorms. Devin?
Yeah, Justin, we've still got that 18-wheeler that is blocking drivers, especially if you're on the Fine Silver Curve, headed near I-10, 35, that area. It's backed up all the way over to 281. You can see with this line of cars over here, folks. So if you're headed now downtown, make sure you keep your eyes out. Over on the east side, we have a new crash that is over at East of Foster Road. That's going to affect our inbound drive times over here. We are still in the green, except for Castroville, headed out this morning. But stay tuned with us on the stream. We'll keep you updated.
All right, thanks so much, Devin. Coming up next, we got a lot more headlines to go over, including a man being hurt, suspect still on the run after a bar shooting.
That's right, and what we knew leading up to all of those stories. Stay with us right here on GMSA Plus.
What?